that interesting episode. Now listen, today I'm going to treat past question on engine drawing for RIVETED University. If you want to learn what, so now we're going to be drawing an assembly drawing of a hexagonal knot, so a hexagonal bolt, a hexagonal knot, a washer, and a split pin. We'll be drawing all this in one diagram. Let's call that an assembly drawing. Alright guys, so let's get straight to it.
Okay, now sorry, this mine this is millimeter, is a typographical error. So having our circumference as 75.41 millimeter, now we can find our diameter. We're not given diameter. Now we know that circumference is equals to pi d. That is pi times diameter is equal to circumference. We have circumference to be 25.41, okay, equals to pi, which is 20/7 times d. So our d will give us 75.41 divided by pi, and this gives us about 24.003. So our d is equal to 24 millimeter. Now we have our diameter. Now we can find for other parameters. How do we find them?
Now I know it's very funny seeing all these dimensions. My dear, after you just know them in your head, just know the basic formulas for these dimensions. It's just most important. There's nothing fun about it. They are constant and you must know them. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to draw a straight center line. Okay, so having drawn our center line, we go back to our diagram, okay? And we have this of both. Our diameter has to be 24. So we'll get our compass and measure 24 cm. Now watch this. Now at 24, we then draw a circle. As possible. After drawing the circle, then you get and then you draw a straight line too, and construct a hexagon on that circle. Okay, so having drawn our hexagon, we're going to do some elongation. So we're elongating these lines to this part of our diagram. Okay. So I've elongated the lines. Okay. Now at any point, let's draw a straight line. So let me pick a point. Now I'll draw a straight line. Okay. After drawing this straight line,
Now from our calculations, we're given that for the bolt our thickness is 19 millimeter. So we measure 19 millimeter with a meter rule. Okay, so this is 19. That means as I'm using set square, advice is a meter rule. Then you join these 2 points. Okay, now we're going to construct the head of our hexagonal bolt. Now to do that, we need our protractor. Okay, so we'll place it on this spot here. Then measure 30 degrees because our angle of chamfer is 30 degrees. Okay, so we'll place it here, measure 30, which is this place. Then you join line, very faint line. Okay, now I do the same thing too for this part. Turn this way, this part here. Okay, measure 30. Now this time just stop it here. Okay, where this two intersect. Now do likewise too for this side. Okay, so we get our compass, pin at this point where the two meet, elongate it towards this part of it. Can you see it? Get it to touch this line here, and then you gauge and draw an arc. Okay, now having drawn that arc, we also get our compass too. So we pivot it here, and then with some radius, you draw an arc. So you do likewise to this part. Alright, so having done that, we'll then take in the rest of our parts or the rest of our line. Okay, so that's that. Now let's draw our bolts. Okay, now the length of we were given the length of our full diagram to be 120, so the full diagram should not be more than 120. Okay, so from this part here to the end here is 120, which is 12 cm. With my set square just from there, and then just draw a fence line up. Okay, so our bolt will be stopping here. This will be a point of reference for our bolt. Okay, and let's draw this time. Let's just take it for some of our lines. So coming back to our parameters, we have the length of the threaded portion to be 48. Okay, so we can measure 48. This is 48, I believe. And then with our set square, we can just draw it straight. Faint line. Okay, so this is our thread to start from. Okay, so having done that, now we want to draw a washer and a knot now on this bolt. And mind you, we're also going to add a split pin here. Now watch our washer. The distance from our threaded portion to our washer is not given. You can set us to take any approximate measurement. You can tend to use 1.5, 1 cm, 2 cm. Just make sure that whatever you are doing, all the assembly will fall and fit in into this hexagonal bolt. Now let me decide to use 1.5. If I draw my washer, I'm using 1.5. Okay, and I just draw up. So measure 1.5 and then I draw up. Alright, now if you look at this, that's the length of the washer, we had it to be 51 millimeter. Okay, so measure 51. So 51 divided by 2 is 25.5. From center line, this is 25.5. Okay, so this is 51, then to 0 points. So we'll just draw, and then to the thickness of the water is 3 millimeter. So measure 0.3. Okay, the same thing, so upward 0.3, and then we'll join. Great sound. Alright, now we want to draw. I have successfully drawn the washer. Now we want to draw the hexagon knot. Now from our measurement tool, we had equal parameters for the bolt and knot. So the thickness or the head of the knot is 19. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing too. Now watch this. So we measure 19 here. So this is 19, and then we'll measure it up. Alright, after measuring up, so do the same thing that we did here to get our curves here. Now watch this very carefully. Okay, so I've done the thickness. Now what's next? We have drawn the washer and then the knot. And let's draw the split pin. Now looking at split pin from this is the front view. From the front view, what you really see is just a circle, and the diameter for that split pin is 5 millimeter, which is 0.5 cm. Okay, now you will find out that I hardly will ever measure 0.5 cm with a compass, and to be very, very difficult. 0.5 is the 0.5 is the diameter, and it's ready to be 0.25. So imagine measuring 0.25 and then drawing it to be extremely impossible. But you can maneuver it using your French curve. So this is part of it. Okay. So with your pencil, put it towards the center. Now you draw the circle. That's for our split pin. So guys, we are done with the first or the front view. Let's finish our side view, which is this part of it. Remember, we are doing this diagram in first angle projection. Alright. So you also gauge if it touches other. And then you draw a circle, the hexagon. Now, very important. We have to measure from the middle line to the edge of the washer with this radius. You place still at the center point and you draw a circle. Okay, now lest I forget, we omitted something in this part. Remember, this is our threaded portion, right? This is where our thread will start from, this part here. That's not measurement. Now we want to draw the thread. Okay, alright, now if you check from our parameter here, okay, which is indicated with P, pitch, we had it to be 0.6D and equals to 14 millimeter. Now watch this. So this is 14 divided by 2 will give you 7. Okay, so we put at the middle, and then this is 5, 6, 7, 7. Okay, 7, and then this is 14. Okay, so you just draw a straight line. Alright, so then we'll draw our thread here. when you decide to draw it, make a thread right-handed V thread or left-handed V thread. Now watch this. So I've drawn the thread that part of this boat. If you want to know how I drew this thread, check on the description part of this video. There's a link there. It will take you, click on the link, it will take you to where you can learn how to draw thread on boats. Okay, so that's something I've already done before. If you want to learn, go and watch it. So moving on, now we're going back to this. Now our diameter is 24. Okay, so just measure 24 here. Okay, which is diameter. I will place it here. Then we'll draw broken lines.
Great sound.
Okay, now having done that, now you're doing the same thing too for this threaded part. Okay,
Great sound.
so after getting the diameter, so the radius I mean to say, then we come still here and draw. Done with our front view and our side view, and let us draw the plan. Now as usual, to draw the plan, just elongate our lines downward. So let's do some elongations. Listen, so even that, so we're also elongating this part too. Okay, now to draw the plan, very simple. You know, it's starting from this part, so just trace it down. Okay, you don't need to measure anything again. Everything here is settled. You don't need to just take it. That's one advantage of elongation. Then the center line. Okay, remember it's lying within these two parts here, and then this last side. All right, now we also need to get our curves here, but how do you go about getting the curves? So as usual, measure 30. Okay, what's that? And then 9. And then also 30 too. And then 9. Right, so after that, you change the curves. I'm done with this part and then the curve. Okay. So I've done it for this part. So I've done the head. Okay, so let's get the diameter of the boat very quickly. So you know the diameter starts from here and ends. Sorry, the length of the boat starts from here, ends from here, and the diameter of the boat is this part. Okay, so just tracing, and then if you check, if you measure it, it will still give you the same accurate measurement. Okay, now as for the washer, this is it for the washer. Okay, so you just trace the stopping here and then down to the stopping here. So we just draw our washer. Okay, so I've done that for washer. Okay, and let's draw this. This is the knot on this part of it. So very quickly, you know, it's this line here. Okay, now is this line, and then these two as our reference lines I'll be using. So using the same method, so 30 30, and then we'll draw. So okay, so I've done that the same way I did it for this part. Now watch this very carefully. Now we forgot to do our elongation for our split pin So split pane is coming down. Okay, and this is how our split pane will look like. Now to draw our split pane, we will employ a little freehand sketch. So having elongated the outline of our split pane, okay. Now where it touches here, you draw a little circle. This circle. Remember, this is the side view. So this is the plan I meant to say. Okay, and then you draw a little curve here.
Great sound.
Now from this part, you draw something like this, okay? Just something uniform like this.
Great sound.
And then we'll add some thickening. So so guys, this is our hexagonal headed bolts with our washer, nuts, and our split pane. So this is the front elevation, side elevation, and the plan.
That was lovely, learning how to draw an assembly drawing, and I believe you learned a lot from this video. Please, if you loved and you learned from this video, please smash that subscribe tab below to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now the essence is that when you subscribe to my channel, you stand a chance to get more educational videos. If you are students in colleges or universities like university or university, I do past questions that can help students perform better in their exam. So I advise you to click on that subscribe tab below and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And very importantly, always like my videos. Any video you watch, rather like that video, and then drop lovely comments for me to know how well you love that video. Now, our next video that we're doing is called Rivet. Now, I created a past question on Rivet. If you want to learn to, go to the description part of this video and watch it. Thank you guys for watching this video.